It was the kind of small town where the sidewalks remembered your steps, and the trees along Maple Street leaned just a little closer if they recognized you. Henry Calloway, 81 and steady as an old metronome, sat on the same wooden bench outside Langley's bakery every morning at 8:30 sharp. He didn't own a watch. He didn't need one. The scent of fresh rye and cinnamon knots told him all he had to know. Langley's had been there for 5 decades. So had Henry. He'd sit with a small brown bag in hand, a single buttered roll inside, the same since Margaret passed. She used to make them at home until the arthritis took her hands. Then Langley's did, and when she died, Henry never had the heart to stop, as though buying it was a way of still having her at the breakfast table. The town had changed. People didn't stop to chat as often. The kids wore earphones, the mail came later, and the grocery store sold things Henry didn't recognize. But the bench remained, and so did he. That morning, something was different. A small boy, maybe 9 or 10, stood in front of the bakery, staring through the glass at the spinning racks of pastries. Henry watched him quietly, taking slow, thoughtful bites of his roll. The boy noticed and approached the bench with that hesitant curiosity kids have when they think they're not supposed to bother old folks. "You waiting for someone?" the boy asked. Henry smiled gently, crumbs caught in the corner of his mouth. "I'm waiting for the morning to finish waking up." The boy tilted his head, puzzled. "That's weird. So jelly on scrambled eggs. Yet here we are," Henry replied. The boy giggled and sat at the other end of the bench. "My mom's inside. She talks a lot when she's nervous." Henry nodded toward the bakery. "First time here?" "She's looking for work. She bakes good muffins, but she's sad lately. We came here from the city." Henry offered the bag the last half of the buttered roll untouched. "She'll find a way. Sad doesn't stick forever." The boy hesitated, then took the piece. "Thanks. I'm Oliver." "I'm Henry." From that morning on, Oliver came often, sometimes with his mother, sometimes alone with a book or sketch pad. He was always careful not to sit too close, but he always sat. Henry liked that about him. No questions about why he was there every day. No talk about senior activities or golden years. Just quiet company. "You read a lot," Henry said one morning, nodding at Oliver's tattered book. "I like stories. They make things less loud." "Books are good for that. So is bread," Henry replied, holding up his roll. Oliver pointed at Henry's worn cap, Navy USS Bonner Springs. "You were on a boat?" Henry nodded. "A long time ago, Pacific mostly. I was 19. Thought I knew everything." "Did you?" "Nope. But I figured some things out before it was too late." Oliver looked down. "My dad left when I was 6. I don't remember much." Henry didn't speak right away. He let the silence settle like dust on an old windowsill. "He didn't leave because of you," Henry said quietly. "Some men run when they don't know how to stay. That's not on the ones left behind." Oliver looked at him as if trying to decide whether to believe it. Then he nodded. Spring turned to summer, and the bench gained a kind of rhythm. Henry at 8:30, brown bag in hand. Oliver around 9 with a book or questions or both. Sometimes Henry talked. Sometimes he listened. Sometimes they just sat. Henry told stories, not the ones with big battles or heroics, but the smaller ones, about the time Margaret burned a whole roast and they had peanut butter for Christmas, or how she planted sunflowers in a circle once because flowers should have friends. Oliver soaked it in like sunlight. But one morning, Henry wasn't there. Not the next day either. On the third day, Oliver brought a small envelope and gave it to the bakery clerk. "Please give this to Mr. Henry if he comes." Inside was a note written in large, careful print. "Dear Mr. Henry, I hope you're just sick of rolls and not sick. Mom says she can make you muffins if you want. Also, I started writing a story. You're in it. Please come back." From Oliver. Henry did come back. He had fallen in his kitchen, a bruise the size of a grapefruit on his hip, and a stubborn refusal to call anyone. A neighbor checked on him by chance. He had no family nearby, not anymore. But when he returned, slower, with a cane this time, Oliver was there, a muffin in hand. "You left without saying goodbye," the boy said. "I figured I'd earned a day off." Henry smiled. They sat. Henry opened the muffin, broke it in half, and handed one piece to Oliver. "I read your story," he said. "Got your letter, too. Did you like it?" "I did, especially the ending." "There's no ending yet," Oliver said. Henry nodded. "Exactly." Years passed. The bench was repainted once, and then again. The bakery expanded. Oliver grew tall and lanky, his voice deeper, his notebooks thicker. Henry came less often, his walks shorter, but the bench remained. And one morning, a new little plaque appeared on its backrest. "In memory of Henry Calloway, who believed mornings were meant to be shared." Oliver had arranged it with the town council. He came on weekends, now a college kid with a deep love for stories and a gentle way of listening. He'd sit on the bench with a muffin in hand. Sometimes he'd talk. Sometimes he'd just listen. The mornings kept waking up one by one, and the bench was never empty for long. The end. If your heart felt a little fuller after this story, show it some love with a like, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.